Hey everybody, this is Rycard here again, just coming at you with another Showdown battle using the same UU team as before. My opponent has another interesting UU team, I guess, at the time, so we're just going to jump right into this. So I got a lead Umbreon, while my opponent has a lead Azelf, and me thinking, alright, well, foul play will be a pretty good option here, so I'll just go for it right off the bat, no need to try anything else. Go for it as he brings in Chestnut. And his Chestnut doesn't have leftovers, which is really intriguing to me, but I figured if he wants to set up spikes or go for Leech Seed, Tentacruel is the perfect switch. Unfortunately, he goes for Seed Bomb here, and it does a very large chunk of damage, and I'm like, well, I definitely cannot stay in for a second one. So I go into Gligar there to take it a little bit better, as he switches out into his Azelf, and it looks like Azelf is packing the knockoff, which is going to get rid of my Eviolite, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I'm able to U-turn out, get a good bit of damage on this Azelf, and if it was sashed, I just broke that there. So I just go into Jellicent there and threaten the Shadow Ball. He does not fear the Shadow Ball, I guess, and I go for the Scald, thinking that, Shadow Ball would be really obvious there, but he gets to set up rocks for free and then switches into his Vaporeon. Now, interesting thing about this situation is I have Taunt on my Jellicent, which means this Vaporeon literally cannot touch me. And he decides to stay in, though, so I went for Scald there thinking, well, he obviously can't switch out here. And I'm just like, alright, well, I guess it's just time for me to go for Shadow Ball a bunch. It's not doing too much, but there is a chance for Shadow Ball to drop my opponent's special defense, so I figured, well, why not? Go for it. And there I figured, he has no reason to stay in still, but he just protects to get some more lefties. I taunt it again, because why not? I'm not really threatened by this thing at all here. But within this whole exchange, he hasn't really lost any HP, so I went for Shadow Ball again. He still can't do anything to me, and it was, I think, either after this match or after the next one I'm going to upload that I decided, Shadow Ball really isn't that useful on Jellicent. I should just go with Toxic instead, and I eventually switch it for that where it does become a little bit more useful. But anyways, he goes into Chestnut. The Bulletproof blocks the Shadow Ball, which looks really cool. Then he goes for the Seed Bomb here, and it does a good bit of damage. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, I can't Roost, because otherwise I'm just going to die to Seed Bomb, because it's going to be super effective. So I have to just U-turn out of there, and I decide to go into Entei, obviously, to threaten the Sacred Fire here. This is going to be a good move versus anything on his opponent or on my opponent's team. He goes for the Spiky Shield, though, revealing that. Luckily, Sacred Fire does not make contact, so that's going to be a good thing for me. I'm not going to take any unnecessary damage. And then he goes into Vaporeon here, and then I missed the Sacred Fire, which, honestly, I completely forgot that could even happen. But I obviously can't stay in here, and I know that my Jellicent completely walls this thing, and I figured, you know what, I want to get rid of the rocks, though. First, Tentacruel's another really good switch in here, because now I know that it only has Scald as its only attacking move, so I'm just going to try to go for the Rapid Spin, and obviously that's a really good thing for me, get rid of those rocks, I don't want them up there anymore. And if I can somehow take down the Azelf, that'd be great, because then he wouldn't have him up for the rest of the time. But I figured because he's been staying in a lot, maybe he would just stay in again there, and maybe I could fish for some poison. Unfortunately, he just goes into Crobat there, and I'm like, you know what would actually be better than getting rid of rocks? Getting a burn on this Crobat. So I go for Scald, and luckily I get the burn, which is really great for me. But I decide to actually not Rapid Spin here, because I'm like, alright, if he's burned and he's just going for Super Fang, there's no way he's going to kill my Gligar, right? I'm pretty defensive even without the Eviolite, but it looks like the Brave Bird's still going to take it out anyway, which is really kind of a bummer to me, because I thought that I would be at a really good opportunity to bring that in, roost up, and then maybe set up my rocks or something. But I'm free to just go into Jellicent here. I'm surprised he went for Brave Bird over... Oh, wait, no, Super Fang wouldn't have hit. Never mind. So he goes for Brave Bird. I probably should have recovered there. But Scald is able to take it out, so it's not too big of a deal. But then he brings in Chestnut again, and I'm like, alright, you know what? I really don't have much to take a Seed Bomb from this guy, so I'm just going to stay in and hope for a burn. He goes for Rock Slide, though, first turn, and I was like, alright, he was probably predicting a switch there. I go for Scald, though, a second time, I get a crit, and then I get a burn, but it looks like he has the Citrus Berry, which is a very random item, in my opinion. But anyway, it looks like, though, because of the burn, his Seed Bomb is actually not going to be doing more than 50%, meaning I can actually sit in here and recover all day. He goes for Spiky Shield, though, which seemed to me like a misclick. I don't really know why he would have went for that. But I go for the recover again, get to full, and then here, what I should have done was also go for recover. This was really stupid to go for Scald there, because he's going to go for Seed Bomb, And now I'm going to be at a much lower range of health than I would have been had I not gone for a cover and then Scald in the following turn. So that stinks, but that's okay for me because, I mean, Jellicent's still pretty powerful. I know the knockoff is coming here, but I don't want anything else to lose its items. So I'm going to stay in. I'm going to sack my Jellicent. It's really not too big of a deal that this happened right now, but I'm able to bring in Entei right now, go for the extreme speed, and take out the Azelf. So which means at this point, if I'm able to actually get my opponent will be unable to set them back up because his Rock Setter is no longer there. So he goes into Crocodile, and like I said, I have Protect on Entei because I can scout things really easily this way. And I was like, all right, nothing is really going to take an Earthquake. If he was going to go for knockoff or something, I could have went out into Umbreon and then found out that he was Life Orbed this way, but now I just know he's Life Orb, meaning my Mienshao is just going to be straight up faster than this guy. So I'm going to go for the high jump kick. It's going to do a really good bit of damage. He gets the Gooey, though, which was actually intriguing to me, but it turns out I'm still faster even after the Gooey. And he goes for the Dragon Pulse, and thankfully, to my ridiculous special defense investment and the Assault Vest that I have on this Mienshao, I knew that I could take that. So while that might have seemed like a really dumb play, I actually was fully in control of that situation. It was really unfortunate I missed the high jump kick, though, but he's just going to go into Crocodile and go for the Earthquake again. Again, I really don't have much to switch into this, so I'm just going to have to constantly switch back and forth between Mienshao and Umbreon. So here, again, I can't really risk the chance of him like doing something ridiculous and staying in and me going for like knockoff or something. But I know that he, with Umbreon in here, has the potential to go for Protect on my high jump kick. So I just go for knockoff there, and getting rid of this guy's item is actually really, really great for me because this means it's no longer going to be gaining any leftovers recovery. So I'm just going to U-turn out of here and then go into my Umbreon, which is going to be really great because honestly, at this point, I'm not really threatened by anything on his team. I'm sort of in control of the situation, but it's just kind of a matter of if the right plays are going to happen in a certain way. He goes for the Scald here, which I think was actually really risky on his part, but he has no other options because if he went for Toxic, he would have been on more of a clock than he is going to be right now. But Umbreon having the Synchronize ability makes this perfect because he's able to now take increasing damage at the end of every turn because of the burn. I have Heal Bell. I know that he doesn't because he's shown me all of his moves already. So I'm free to just constantly wish here. And I have really no fear of anything bad happening in the situation. So I'm going to opt to Heal Bell right now as he goes for Scald. We both get our wishes, and basically we're in just kind of a stalemate at this point, though it is pretty much in my favor as far as I can tell. But he goes for the Toxic here, which is actually really cool. It would have been nicer if I got the Toxic on the Vaporeon as opposed to the burn, but either way it works out for me. And I have the Wish in the air, and I'm just like, you know what, just foul play. There's no reason not to do it. Again, like I said, it was kind of a stalemate. Crocodile is going to come in, though, here. And he's going to Earthquake, and I'm just like, you know what, I can foul play here, and he's eventually going to kill himself to Life Orb recoil. But it looked like foul play actually did a lot less than I was hoping it was going to that time. It was 31% and then 27%. If I got that extra 4%, he would have died to Life Orb right here, which would have been much better for me. But I'm going to go into Mienshao here and just go for the U-turn. I don't want to miss because, God forbid, I kill myself with high jump kick. That would be terrible. And then he brings in Vaporeon, and I'm like, you know what? He's probably going to Protect. So I go for the Poison Jab. It's just one of the other random moves I have in my set. But at this point, I can just high jump kick freely. It does 42%, and as you know, at this point, he's going to just die to burn, giving me the victory in the battle. So that was it for my second upload of my, Return Revival Showdown series. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.